What is up, YouTube fam? Sydney here, back with another video. So whether you're new to my channel or you've been here, welcome back and thank you for being here. So what I like to do here on my channel is educate you guys on nutrition, training, and mindset to help you reach your goals in a healthy and sustainable way. So that's what we're gonna do today. If you enjoy this kind of content, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe below. So today we're going to be talking about how to hit your protein goal. The reason that I wanted to do a video dedicated to this was because this is something that I see my clients coming to me struggle with. It is a question that I do get asked in my DMs pretty often because, you know, a lot of people might know, okay, this is what I heard I need to hit, but how do I hit that? So that's what we're going to be getting into today. My Instagram is at Sydney Tollett. I will put that right here for you guys. If you ever do want to shoot me a question, I'm going to start answering those here. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and kind of jump into it. I am going to get into a little bit of background on protein, but that's not what the main point of this video is. So I will also link a more descriptive video on setting up your macros for your goals below for you guys. And you can check that out if you want to. But when it does come to protein, first of all, how much do I recommend? Again, more details in the videos below if you want more in depth on this, but I'm gonna recommend about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of lean body weight per day. So to keep that really simple, we could just go right between the two and say about a gram per pound of lean body weight per day of protein. So like for me, let's say I weigh 150. I don't know my exact lean body weight, but let's say I'm gonna guess like 120, 130. So I might just go ahead and set that kind of around 120 to 130. I tend to actually aim for a little bit higher on that spectrum, but this is just for the purpose of this video. So that's about where your protein is going to be. If you don't know your lean body weight, you can kind of guesstimate it, or you can kind of go with like a goal body weight. If you are relatively lean, you could just go ahead and use current body weight if you wanted to. But yeah, so that keeps that really simple. In terms of why this matters, if you have a fat loss goal, a body composition goal, why does protein matter? So protein is basically, it's the building blocks. So when it comes to body composition, fat loss goals, protein is going to become really, really important because number one, it's going to support our lean tissue. It's going to support our muscle mass, whether that be maintaining it in a fat loss phase or building it in like a recomp or more of like a growing phase. We need that protein. It is the building blocks of muscle. It's also the building blocks of a lot of other structural components of the body. So we have like hair, skin, etc. It plays a role in like your bone health. It has a lot of different roles. It's also going to be like helpful or needed for enzymes that are going to help speed up other processes in the body. So protein has a lot of benefits outside of just the muscle, although the muscle is a big piece of it, because if we are supporting that lean tissue, number one, that's going to help improve our body composition, because obviously to look fit and toned, you want to have that muscle under there. But also it's going to help keep your metabolic rate up a little bit higher. Muscle does take quite a bit of energy to like maintain and build. So if we can keep more of it, we're going to be able to eat more while losing body fat, which of course is always fun. Also, one other thing about protein, it is going to be more satiating. So if you are, let's say, trying to lose body fat or something, it is going to be a little bit more satiating of a macronutrient, which can always be helpful. So that's kind of like basics on protein. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything before we get into how to hit the goal. There's also going to be a ton of like great nutrients that we're going to get out of protein. But okay, also guys, I am sorry, I'm going to start looking more at the lens. I'm so bad at doing that, and I get comments on it, which there's no need to be rude about that, by the way, people. But regardless, I get comments on it, so I'm going to try to like look. It's just weird because my face is like up here, but y'all are like here, so it's kind of, yeah. But anyways, so getting into how do you hit your protein goal. So first things first, we can, let's say as we are moving forward in our fitness journey, getting more advanced, what we can do is kind of start to get more particular about like pre-workout, post-workout protein timing, like all of these things. But when you're just starting off learning to just hit your protein, getting into all those nuanced details of exactly, you know, spacing it out perfectly, or how many servings exactly that you have a day, or exact time of pre-post workout, it's just unnecessary to start there. Like, just start with the basics here, which is kind of what we're going to get into. So The first thing, I kind of have like I guess a 5-step process here for you guys, which I didn't even realize was 5 steps. Maybe I'll title that the video, I don't know. But number 1, how many times in a day do you eat? So based on your lifestyle, how many times in a day do you eat? Now, if you are somebody who right now, let's say you only eat once a day or something, you may have to change that a little bit. Like that might be a lifestyle adjustment that we need, but typically how many times a day do you eat? That's a really good place to start. So now the very simple thing is we're going to take our protein goal and we're going to divide that by how many times in a day we eat. I know this sounds so simple, but you'd be surprised how many people still get super confused with this. So we're going to take how many times we eat in our protein goal. So let's say we have a goal of 130 grams of protein. And let's say you eat 4 times a day. So 130 divided by 4, I don't know exactly what that is. I should, but let's say 30, hold on, 30, 60, 90. I don't have a, that's gonna be like 30 to 35 grams of protein per meal, roughly. I keep forgetting to look at the lens. This is so hard. But anyways, so that's what you're gonna do. And that is the very first step. And then obviously you might be like, okay, but now how do I get all of that protein in? So now, and also too, in terms of meal spacing and like how many times, I've seen for my clients personally, just with lifestyles, busy jobs, busy lives, having kids, having school, 3 to 5 like eating periods a day typically works best for my clients. And I encourage my clients to look at things either more as like all meals, or at least like if there are snacks in there, larger snacks with protein, so that we can kind of still divide things up. And it doesn't have to be perfectly evenly, just for the purposes of this video, that could be helpful. But what you might do is like maybe your meals are a little bit more and you have high protein snacks, but they're not like as high. So you could divide it that way too if you wanted, but we're gonna keep it really simple for this video. So anyways, God, I go on rambles all the time. So let me look at my notes and get back, let me get back on track. Okay, so now that you've divided that evenly, now what we have to do, we have to plan what sources you want to eat to hit that protein per meal or per snack that you have decided. And then what we have to do is we have to be sure that we write those down, go to the grocery store and buy and prep them. I have so many people who they make this plan and then they get into their week and they don't hit it because they didn't go buy the stuff and they didn't prep it and it wasn't ready. So obviously if it's not there, you're not gonna hit it. So that's the next step. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to give you guys some sources that you can kind of fit within this. So let's say that you decided, okay, let's say your goal is the 130 protein. And let's say you're gonna do 35 grams-ish per meal, or 30 to 35 grams per meal. Or let's say maybe you decided, okay, I'm gonna do like 30 grams per meal, but also like a 20 gram protein snack. So rather than doing like into 4, you're doing it into like 3 meals and a snack. And so what we can do is now we can just fill in the gaps of, okay, what do we want our protein sources to be? So I'm gonna kind of read through some of my top suggestions for high quality protein sources here. So we have chicken. I recommend going like organic, free range when you can there. Turkey, same thing, highest quality is going to be the best. And you'll hear a lot of times people talk about like low fat options, getting the leanest, but I actually encourage my clients to, you don't have to get the fullest fat cut, but I mean, you could get like 90-10 because we're getting a lot of healthy fats out of those fats from the meats as well. So eggs, free range, organic for sure when you can there. When we're looking at meat sources, I just prefer to get the best quality that I can because I want those healthy fats, those anti-inflammatory fats. I don't want a bunch of added stuff. I don't want a bunch of like, something that's been, I don't want to be eating an animal that's also been eating a bunch of omega-6s because our diets are already really high in those and we really need to get those omega-3s. So I'm really big on quality sourcing here. But anyways, so beef, grass-fed will be great. Other red meats as well. So there's like grass-fed bison. There's so many different options for that as well. Really any fish, like we have salmon, tuna, mahi-mahi. There's, a ton of fish, obviously. Wild caught is what I personally go for. Yogurts can be great. Just look out for, with yogurts, ones that have a ton of added sugar. Not because sugar's like bad inherently in itself, but what I would just say is I would prefer to use more of my carbs on just good nutrient-dense real foods. Now obviously some yogurts are gonna have a little bit, and that's totally fine, but I also prefer full fat yogurts. Again, just kind of getting the most out of those nutrients that I can. Cottage cheese is a great one. And then if you are obviously vegan, we have like tofu, tempeh, things like that. And if you aren't vegan, but you do still use vegan sources, I would just kind of say watch out for how much of the soy products that we're using. Just from, number one, a lot of times we can see that impact in digestion, but we can also see things with like hormones, we can see things with pesticides, since soy is sprayed a lot more, etc. But we're not getting into that here. And then protein powder obviously is a great option as well for filling gaps. Be sure high quality protein powder, which I personally use First Form. I will link that below. They have vegan options and they have whey options. I am obsessed with their vegan protein powder. I put it in my oats, my coffee, I put it in so many different things. Their whey is great too. It's great for like making recipes and stuff with, but I will link both of those below. The vegan just tends to sit a little bit better with me. So also a couple more tips with this is be sure that with these protein sources that you're trying them different ways. So don't just like try chicken one time and rule it out because you literally like pan-seared it and made it dry and gross. Like try things different ways and try to make it fun and creative. So like for example, for something like chicken, if you just give me a plain baked chicken breast, I don't want it. But if I do like a crock pot barbecue chicken kind of thing, it's really good with like ground turkey. I don't just like want it plain. Like I'm gonna put seasonings on it. You can put it into fun recipes. So try out fun things. Don't feel like you just have to eat things like dry, unsalted, and bland, because it does not have to be that way. And then also, like I said, using those supplements to fill gaps, but don't let supplements be all of your day because, you know, supplements are there to fill gaps, and we still want to be sure we're getting in a ton of that quality source first before we do choose to fill with gaps. Now, obviously that's, you know, we can find great quality supplement powders, which is also why we have to be careful, but we still want to be sure we're getting other sources as well. So yeah, that's as simple as it is. And now that I'm not looking at my notes anymore, let me kind of do the math again. If you had a goal of 130 grams of protein and you ate 4 times a day, that'd be, oh, I was right, 30 to 35 grams. And then if you wanted to say, okay, well, I'd rather do 3 meals, 1 snack, then you could do 30 grams at meals, and then that would leave you with like 2 20-gram snacks if you wanted to do it that way. Or you could do like 35 at meals, and that would leave you with like oh wait, that would be all of it. Okay, my math is not good today. But anyways, we could do, you get my point. You could do a little bit higher for the meals and a little bit lower for a snack if you wanted to do it that way. Okay, so anyways, I hope that was helpful. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe below if it was. And if you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a comment too. That helps me. It helps me connect with you guys, first of all, so I'm not just like talking to my camera, but also it helps me grow my page, get this information out to more people. Sorry if I just like confused anybody at the end. I think I made it made sense though. It's really not that hard. You guys know how to divide things. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. I will also put out a typed list of the protein sources I listed below in the description box. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.